Welcome back, YouTube. My name is TayVikes28, coming at you once again for the Toronto Huskies franchise. And if you guys did not check the last couple episodes out, you have got to watch them. We did a pretty much three-part episode in a sense yesterday with three different live streams of three different games. That will be weeks number 10, 11, and 12. And we had a guest here for week number 12 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had Real Deal Neil 45 coming on and helping us broadcast once again. And you may remember him from the week 4 episode against the Minnesota Vikings. And then in week number 11, you have got to watch that one. It was an absolute, probably my favorite game that I've ever seen get played in Madden. You got to check it out. It was a defensive battle, and the offensive players showed up to play. It was just a great all-around team game there. So definitely check that one out, and it has a surprise finish. But now we are in week 13. That's right, week 13 against the Detroit Lions. We are sitting at 2-9, your Toronto Huskies, and we will be hosting the Detroit Lions coming to town to play us at the Den. And more good news for this Toronto Huskies team. Keontae Bonds, the rookie wide receiver, is back, which means that he will be back in the lineup and once again helping us to some victories, hopefully. As we see him back in the lineup, healthy again. That knocks down a couple of guys here. And essentially, we have to figure out what to do because we got a slew of receivers now that we can essentially move around wherever we want them to play. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do there. And then, obviously, at the slot wide receiver spot, we will still have Trent Sherfield playing that role. But I am pretty impressed so far from this Toronto team. Obviously, we've had some up and down moments this season. However, I don't think I can complain. Given the lack of talent on this roster, we're going to go ahead and do some upgrades here and then get ready to jump in this game. But I feel like the overall roster is so much further behind than all these other teams that we're playing that it's obviously going to be tough for us to win games. And so when we do, we have to cherish those moments because they probably won't come by too often this season, as we've already got 2 of them so far. And right now, I think I mentioned it last episode, the current setup for the upcoming draft has us as the number 1 pick right now. Now, that was previously in week number, I think, 10 or 11 that I checked that out. So it may have changed, but I don't think it would have changed much because we only got 1 victory since then. So we'll go check the standings out real quick, give you guys an update. As you see, the Giants, top team in the NFL. That is a shock. So we've got the Rams leading the NFC West. A couple of pretty close battle. Really, everyone's still in the contention for the NFC West title. And then we got the East. Giants are running away with it, surprisingly, over the Cowboys. And then these 2 teams here are just not doing too hot. And it looks like the Redskins are actually in line for the number 1 pick right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then the Falcons clearly seem to be taking the NFC South, as every other team only has 4 wins right now. And then the North, you got the Green Bay Packers leading right now. The Lions, who we're about to face, hot on their heels. And then the Vikings and Bears struggling this season. And you have the Kansas City Chiefs winning the West currently. And we'll have to see if that holds up, because we do have a pretty close race here behind them, all stuffed in there within a win of each other. And then the AFC East, you got the Bills and Jets fighting for top dog in the East, where the Patriots and Dolphins are kind of lagging behind here at this point. Pretty much out of playoff contention unless they go on a big run. And then the AFC South, our division, We've got the Texans leading. The Titans, who we had previously beat in week number 2, sitting at 6-5. And then the Colts. The Colts, we also were able to beat them. And now, sitting at 2-9, 31st team, so no longer in line for that number 1 pick. And then in the AFC South, or excuse me, AFC North, got the Ravens leading that, the Bengals, a couple games back, and then the Steelers and Browns. Surprisingly, the Browns at 5-6. And as we all know, the Browns are a powerhouse in this game. But right now, they're lagging behind, so we'll have to see how that changes in the final 5 weeks of the season. But for right now, that's where the standings are. And then one more thing we wanted to look at. Let's take a gander at how we rank compared to the Lions. So this is our roster. A couple of guys in the 80s. Not a whole lot, though. Now you look at the Lions roster. Clearly more talented. You know, you still got Kenny Golladay. You got Matt Stafford still doing his thing out there in Detroit. Now they have Kerryon Johnson, a young Kerryon Johnson with DeAndre Swift just kind of chilling behind him. And then you have the wide receiver Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones, 2 big-bodied guys who can go up and catch the football. And then the speedy Taylor Gabriel and the 3rd position slot wide receiver for him. TJ Hawkinson's still there. We have a average offensive line here for the Lions. Not amazing. A couple pieces lacking. And the defensive ends defensive front, I should say, they are pretty good. You got Trey Flowers still up there. Now, they don't necessarily have that elite defensive tackle. Danny Shelton is the placeholder for them now. The linebacking core is something that I think we could take advantage of. They're either very young or on the older side and regressing at this point. So that's something that we could look to take advantage of on this Lions team. At the corner position, you got Justin Coleman and Desmond Trufant. So they have some guys here who have been in the league for a little while and some wily veterans in the back half with Daron Harmon and then a young guy named Tracy Walker. So that is how things are lining up right now for this Lions squad. And they are clearly the better team, so we'll have to see how we fare. Without further ado, though, let's jump into this game. As you see, 83 versus 75 overall. Not much that is going to fall in the favor of the Toronto Huskies. Now, for those of you that remember, we did have 2 players leave the team. One due to personal reasons earlier this season. Isaiah Wilson, our starting right tackle, got replaced by the rookie Merrill Wiley. And then we also had number 2 wide receiver at the time, Henry Ruggs, get brought in for some criminal charges, which is how we ended up with a slew of various other receivers on this Toronto Huskies team. So as you see, we are in Toronto. The crowd is fired up for some football. And I think it's about time that we give them that football. Let's start this game off with a kickoff. And the Lions will be set to receive here. And they go ahead and take a touchback to start this game. So the Matthew Stafford-led Detroit Lions will be coming on out here, and he's having one heck of a season right now. 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, almost 2,500 yards. He is looking nice for this Detroit squad, and it's probably a large part at why they are currently sitting at 6-5 with a winning record. So we'll have to keep an eye on how he distributes the ball today. On this first down run, a bunch of room out there to the outside. That is Kerryon Johnson with a run of 26 yards to start this game. That offensive line just sealed the edge, and then Kerryon Johnson just took it. You know, really put the Jets on, just took it outside and just never looked back. We'll have to see. We haven't seen a lot of great running backs. Well, we've seen a lot of great running backs this year, but they haven't been able to do much against this Toronto squad. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether Kerryon Johnson finally breaks through this defensive front. And here he goes again for a gain of a couple. And this is, like I said, an alright offensive line, not great. They have some younger playmakers outside of Marvin Jones. So I'm curious how this defense is going to be able to hold up against those bigger receivers on the outside. I think that is where Matthew Stafford, as he goes over the middle right here, I believe that is Kenny Golladay with the reception at the 30-yard line and already in field goal position. And that is going to be a reception for about 17 yards for Kenny Golladay. As you see the wily veteran Rashad Jones coming up to make the tackle. And I have to say that the Toronto Huskies defense has been very good this season. So despite the fact that they're already in field goal range here, as another completion, this time to TJ Hawkinson, I still believe in their ability to stop this Detroit offense. They've been the ultimate bend but don't break. And that was actually Jesse James, excuse me. And another completion, this time to the right-hand side. And he's going to be inside the 10 to the down to the 7 as he gets knocked out of bounds. And that is Kenny Golladay with his second reception. So now Matthew Stafford's in I formation, but elects to pass it here, and it's going to be caught. They're only getting down to about the 6-yard line, having to come back to make that reception. As we take a look at this defensive unit, who have been very good against the run this season for the Toronto Huskies. And they have a couple of veterans, key veterans, and then a lot of young players on this defense. The young players have been slowly, becoming better players throughout the season. We've seen that, and I feel like that's going to be what we look forward to next season, as we see a complete pass to the left-hand side, a little screen pass, and that's going to be a touchdown. And I'm not sure if who that was on the touchdown, but look at the blocking though. Just great blocking downfield by all these players, and it might have been, I don't know if that was Taylor Gabriel. Can't tell. I believe that might have been Taylor Gabriel on the touchdown. So that is pending a Kaimi Fairbairn. I probably butchered that name. I always do. Extra point, making it 7-0 Detroit, who started this drive. They came out, they knew what they wanted to do. They had a 7-play, 75-yard drive that just rolled down the football field, and there was nothing stopping that. I don't even think that the Huskies forced a third down on that drive, which was crazy because that's what they've been so good at this season. And we see a decent return here for the Toronto Huskies as Ryan Fitzpatrick and this offense come out, and he's got over 2,000 yards passing this season. Not a lot of touchdowns, though, and also not a lot of interceptions, although the interception number has been spiking the last 4 or 5 weeks. So now Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to start this off at the 30-yard line. He's going to elect to throw in the first down pass, and that's going to be complete for about 5 yards to Patrick Laird coming, or not Patrick Laird, Jesper Horsted, excuse me. And we take a look at this offensive line, a very young unit up front, which may be part of the reason why they've had trouble protecting Ryan Fitzpatrick of late. And then we know these playmakers are young. Outside of Delaney Walker, it's pretty much a full roster of players under 25 years of age. And you see here, Patrick Laird had a pretty good day last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he just got fed the football. And another carry right there for Patrick Laird gets a first down to the 41-yard line. I'd like to see, like I was saying last week, this Toronto team push the ball down the field, because that's what really helped them get the victory a couple of weeks ago. As another throw here, all the time in the world, and it is going downfield, finds a man on the left-hand side. That is going to be complete to, I believe that is Keontae Bonds. Welcome back, rookie. That is what that statement is right there as he catches that ball for about 20, I think it was 24 yards or so, as he gets pushed out of bounds on that play. But heck of a route and an even better throw. Keontae Bonds, I have missed that man in the lineup. It is nice to see him back and playing well already. So now they're at the 35-yard line in field goal range. And Fitz is going to elect to drop back and throw again down the left-hand side. That's going to be down to the 23-yard line and another first down. This is what I like to see. CeeDee Lamb now getting involved with his first catch. And more than that, they are pushing the ball down the field a little bit. That's what I like to see. And look, it is working. I'm telling you, these receivers, they can win downfield if they're given the opportunity to do so. And now it is 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line, and Fitz is going to drop back and just dump it off to the left-hand side, but plenty of space for the running back, I believe. That is Raquel Armstead with another first down on that reception, with Desmond Trufant coming up and eventually making the tackle. But good awareness there to just see his man in the flat with no one around and getting him the ball for a first down. Nice play by Raquel Armstead and Ryan Fitzpatrick on that one. Now this is going to set up another 1st and 10, this time at the 13. They're going to be an I formation, and they are handing it off to the left-hand side. A little bit of room there, getting out to the 10-yard line. That is John Kelly. We're going to take a look at this, the Lions defensive line and defensive front, I should say. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with some of the younger players on that defensive front. I think they could be players for the future. And speaking of young players, there's a one in the secondary in Tracy Walker, who we'll have to keep an eye on. I think he could also be a player of the future for this team. As on 2nd and 6, we get another completion out there to the left-hand side, and that's going to be just at the marker, marking it just short as CeeDee Lamb with a catch, making it 3rd and inches at the 3-yard line. And they're going to elect to hand this football off, and it looks like a fumble. What a hit. That is Deron Harmon, I believe, coming up and making that hit. But it was recovered by Toronto. One of the offensive linemen just immediately grabbed that. And what a hit there. John Kelly just gets walloped, and it looks like it almost fell right on top of that offensive lineman, right into his hands. So that's perfect for Toronto. They're now at 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. They're going to elect to run this and get down to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they're going to elect to pass this, and a quick pass over the middle. What a hit. That was just an awkward play there. I believe that was Delaney Walker who had the ball in his hands before he got hit. Now it is 3rd and goal, and a little bit of pressure here. And the offensive line, they are trying to protect Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he just had all day to throw that ball. But eventually, you know, that defensive front is going to get to you if you don't get that ball out of your hands. But what a play here by number 70 to come across. That is Jedrick Wills, the left tackle, coming across over the down defensive lineman to make this other block. You know, that is some effort by Jedrick Wills to protect his quarterback. And Josh Lambo now is going to prepare for a field goal attempt. And he is going to get 3 points on the board for the Toronto Huskies, making the score 7-3 now, Detroit. I still can't believe that play by Jedrick Wills. So he blocks a man, right? And then has to jump over the down defensive lineman to come back to the right side and block another player who was trying to get after Ryan Fitzpatrick, and still they end up letting up the sack. You know, that is the type of effort we like to see here in Toronto. You know, we know that this isn't going to be a season where they make the playoffs. However, if we see some improvement from this offense. That's all we can really ask for. As we start this drive at the 25-yard line, play action for Matthew Stafford. Finds a receiver on the left-hand side. That is going to be the tight end, TJ Hawkinson. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 again. This time they're going to hand it off to Kerryon Johnson, who gets a couple of yards on that first down carry with, I believe that was Josh Bynes, the veteran, coming up to make the tackle. Now it's going to be 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line. Matthew Stafford in the gun. He's going to throw this ball over to the right-hand side quickly, and looks like the receiver just either missed that or maybe it was a little bit high. Either way, that's going to force a 3rd and 7 now. Empty backfield. And Stafford again throws a quick dart over there. And that, what a hit. What a hit by that Toronto defender. And that ends up forcing the ball free from Kerryon Johnson's hands. Look at this play. Who was that came up and made that hit? I think, was that the... Yes, that was Rashad Jones. Wily veteran coming up and knowing what he has to do, knowing that he got beat and allowed the completion, but he hit him so hard that that ball got forced free. And what a punt here by, I believe that was Matt Bosch. Inside the 10-yard line, down at the 8. Tough starting field position for this Toronto team. But I'd like to see him be able to get another set of points on the board, whether it be 3 or 6. That is, either would be fine with me right here. And they're going to fake the handoff. Fitzpatrick's going to drop back and find a man. Oh no, finds the wrong jersey color. That is going to be Justin Coleman with the interception. It looks like Coleman was actually running that route for the receiver there. As you see, trying to go to CeeDee Lamb and just overthrows him just a little bit. As you see, Justin Coleman getting out in front of Lamb and essentially running the rest of that route for him. So quick turnover here. First turnover of the game is going to lead to an opportunity for this Detroit Lions team to stretch this lead out to at least 7 points. As they're going to put a man in motion from left to right and elect to hand this ball off with a big gashing run here and a fumble. A fumble that gets recovered by Toronto. And that was Floyd Ellis on the recovery. I'm not sure who forced that. That's going to be close, though. It sure looked like he could have been down. That might have been forced free by the ground, actually. So if that gets overturned, I would not be shocked. And Rashad Jones again making the play. I think I have said his name so many times today. And are they going to? Yes, they are going to review it here.
The previous play is under review.
And yes, it does look like his arm was down and then the ball comes free. Yeah, knees down right there. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. That was a big play that this Toronto defense would have loved to have. And as expected, it does get turned over, making it 2nd and inches now from the 23. Matt Stafford in this offense comes back onto the football field, and they hand it off again, trusting Kerryon Johnson, getting down to the 20 and a first down for this Detroit Lions squad. Now Stafford's going to look over the right-hand side here, quick throw, and finds a man getting down to the 13-yard line. That is Taylor Gabriel with his first reception. And another quick pass, this time over the middle, and it gets forced free by the defender. Good coverage there, making sure to get your hands in there to force an incompletion. It is 3rd and 2 from the 13. Stafford steps up in the pocket and on the run just throws this one away over the intended receiver on the right-hand side. That's going to be a nice stand here for this Toronto defense, considering the fact Detroit already was in field goal range when they started this possession. So allowing only a field goal is a win for Toronto. Alright, now it is going to be a Toronto kick return here. Getting out past the 20, past the 25, to about the 27-yard line. It's Terry Godwin, the replacement kick return man. Now Ryan Fitzpatrick in the gun. He's going to elect for a quick pass over there to the right-hand side. Gets a little bit of yardage here out to the 31. I believe that is going to be CeeDee Lamb on the reception. That should end this first quarter, making it 10-3 with a Detroit lead. Now 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line. In the gun, Fitzpatrick drops back, looks over to the right-hand side, finds a man. What a move there by Patrick Laird, breaking some ankles and getting that first down. That is a 7-yard reception. Now under center is Fitzpatrick, still drops back and throws, this time to the right-hand side, and misses his target. That is 2nd and 10. Now empty backfield. Fitz is under pressure and he goes down. That is Trey Flowers with the sack. That's going to make a 3rd and long now, as he just bull rushes his man and gets in there for the sack. Fitz almost doesn't even see him coming until it's too late. So that's going to be a 3rd and 16 now from the 32-yard line as the clock hits 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're going to fake the handoff and throw it deep. What a play! What a play! He just uncorks a massive bomb downfield, and that is CeeDee Lamb coming up one-on-one against the corner and just makes a play. That is a crazy catch as he just high points this ball. 49-yard reception. I believe that is Justin Coleman on coverage, and he just gets burnt. CeeDee Lamb with 4 receptions, 72 yards. And now in the red zone are these Toronto Huskies with another completion down to the 10-yard line. This is Jesper Horsted. And we've been hearing a lot about Jesper Horsted recently. People in the Toronto building are, whispering about him being the tight end of the future for Toronto once Delaney Walker eventually retires. He's been making a lot of plays for this Toronto team in both the receiving game, even the running game, even on special teams. So here we go, 2nd and 2. They're going to elect to hand this ball off, and that's going to get stuffed in the backfield. Patrick Laird with nowhere to go. It means it's going to be 3rd and 3 from the 12-yard line. But notice how they are pushing the ball down the field, and it is working for this Toronto offense. I'm telling you, that is the recipe for success. So here on 3rd and 2, at the 12-yard line, Fitz is in the gun, and he's going to elect to pass this one over to the right-hand side, and touchdown, CeeDee Lamb. That's right, a touchdown for this Toronto offense, and we have not seen very many of those. What a play, wide open. He just makes his man essentially get lost in the traffic. That is a welcome sign here for this Toronto offense, who has struggled to find the end zone most of this season. Now Josh Lambo is going to kick this one off. Tie game now, 10 apiece. And a good return here from Detroit, getting past the 30 to the 31-yard line. I believe that might be Jamal Agnew. Now DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson, that's a pretty nice duo to have at the running back position. We'll have to see if Swift finds his way into this game at all in this one, as Stafford drops back and throws a quick one over the middle, finds a man who's breaking tackles and powering his way to a first down. That is Jesse James with his second reception. Now in I formation, this Detroit offense is going to fake the handoff and have plenty of time in the pocket, does Stafford. Eventually just uncorking a deep ball. Has a man open, but he just steps out of bounds. That was Jesse James just not having the awareness to stay in bounds and make that catch. And a quick pass here on 2nd and 10, breaking a tackle, and then breaking another tackle. That is Kenny Galladay on the right-hand side for about 4 yards. This is going to make it 3rd and 6. And they have two receivers to the right-hand side, and Stafford drops back. He throws to that right-hand side, and finding his man, that is, I believe, TJ Hawkinson. And unfortunately, that is a penalty on the defense for a face mask. Come on, Logan Ryan, the veteran, should know better.
Automatic first down.
It's going to be a first down, closing in on field goal range for this Detroit offense at the 39-yard line. In I formation now. As you see Stafford fake the handoff and throw downfield into the middle of the field, actually, finding a receiver. That's going to be Kenny Galladay again. 3rd reception on the day for him. That's an 18-yard reception with Zaire Franklin eventually making the tackle. And all of a sudden, this entire game seems to be switching momentum towards the Detroit's favor. It is now 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. And Stafford's going to elect to hand this one off as he gets stuffed, does Kerryon Johnson at the 22-yard line, losing a yard on that run. As Quincy Williams coming up and making the tackle. He is once again excelling for the 2nd year in a row. Now 2nd and 11 from the 22-yard line. You have Stafford in the gun. 2 receivers to the left-hand side. And he's going to look to that left-hand side, finds a receiver, and is going to be caught by Marvin Jones Jr. at the 10-yard line. That's going to be a 1st and goal now for Detroit. Stafford under center, bunch set to the right-hand side, but they're going to elect to run this to the left instead, and that gets only about a yard. Kerryon Johnson. He's been shut down so far outside of that first run, and this time it's going to be a pitch to him to the right-hand side, and he gets stuffed again. Down at the 13-yard line for a 4-yard loss. Look at that, trying to make something happen, but just having a whole gang of Toronto Huskies there to essentially shut that run down. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 13. Can we see a goal line stand here for Toronto? And Stafford drops back to throw the ball. He's under pressure, and he gets... Wait, no! Evades the sack, and eventually does get sacked. That is Quincy Williams with the initial pressure. As you see here, he gets off and just is unable to get him down, and then eventually that's right, Floyd Ellis, the rookie sensation, eventually coming up and making the sack himself. I think they're going to count that as a half sack for both of them. So now Fairbairn is up to kick another field goal. And that is going to be good, making it 13-10 Detroit. This bend but don't break defense continues that trend here on another goal line stand. I don't even know how many of those we've seen this season, but it's been a lot. So now Toronto is going to get this ball back with an opportunity to score before halftime, possibly take the lead. And what a play! And that's going to be a fumble that's scooped and scored by Detroit. We'll have to see if that stands. But it looks like that's going to be a scoop and score for the Detroit Lions on a special teams play. As Terry Godwin, we've talked about it, he's the replacement kick return man since Ashton Doolin has been out, and he's been doing all right. But his first major mistake right here, and it is confirmed upstairs, meaning Detroit, pending this extra point, is going to take a 10-point lead just like that. So the Lions up 20-10 now over this Toronto Huskies team. What a play on special teams. You don't see that too often. And they're going to elect to kick this one off again, and this time just taking a knee. Probably a good choice there. So now, instead of having an opportunity to take the lead, they are just hoping to get any points on the board to close this gap before halftime. So Ryan Fitzpatrick has a bunch set to the left-hand side, under center. He is going to go ahead and fake the handoff and then throw it down the field. What a completion here to the 50. That's 25 yards to Trent Sherfield. Nice play here by Sherfield. He's been very consistent over the last couple of weeks. Ever since getting into the lineup, really, he's been a nice go-to target for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Nice route, nice throw. Getting down to midfield now. In I formation at the 50-yard line. And they're going to actually hand this one off, but getting nowhere. John Kelly getting tackled pretty much at the line of scrimmage by Jelani Tavai. And 2nd and 10. A throw here to the right-hand side. Trent Sherfield catches it and just seems frozen for a second, like he didn't know what to do with the ball. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Setting up a 3rd and 8 coming out of this 2-minute warning. From the 48-yard line, Fitzpatrick is going to elect to hand this one off and making some moves. That is Patrick Laird getting about 8 yards or close to it. And they're going to call him short, though. 4th and 1 at the 40. You know, depending on what the weather's like here in Toronto today, I would not be shocked if they try and allow Josh Lambo, who has a very big leg, an opportunity. And look at that effort from Patrick Laird trying to get that first down. And no, they elect to punt it. As Matt Hawk tries to coffin corner this Detroit team, and that's exactly what he does down at the 8-yard line. You know, Kerryon Johnson hasn't done much since that first carry for about 26 yards. It's been pretty quiet since then. And now Matthew Stafford's under center. He's going to elect to throw this one over to the left-hand side, and tackled immediately. Only a gain of 2 yards. That was TJ Hawkinson. Now at the 11-yard line, 2nd and 8. Stafford's going to throw again, this time to the right-hand side, finds a man, complete for a first down, and this is going to be the second timeout in a row from this Detroit Lions squad. As I believe that that was tackled down to the 25-yard line here. Marvin Jones Jr. the second reception. And Stafford here on 1st and 10 under pressure and gets the ball off, though, to TJ Hawkinson, who gets down after about a gain of 6 yards or so. It's going to be 2nd and 4 now from the 31, and they're running a hurry-up offense immediately, almost getting intercepted, actually. A throw to the left-hand side for Hawkinson again. That time almost was picked off by the rookie Richie Branch. Now 3rd and 4, and Stafford's going to try and get this ball downfield. Looks like a holding call, and it was almost complete downfield, but then a hit by the safety is going to force a punt here, depending on, yes, they do decline this. So it is going to be a punt with about 22 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Let's see what they elect to do, and what a punt here by Detroit. Down at the 5-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto just takes this one to half. I don't think they're going to be going 95 yards in only 14 seconds. Let's see what they do here, though, as they do end up just handing it off up the middle. Getting about 6 yards here is Patrick Laird, and that should bring us to halftime. So a 10-point lead. Detroit goes in 20-10 over the Toronto Huskies. In Toronto, might I add. Alright, let's take a look around the country at some of the games that are currently happening. We're going to travel down to Houston, and Baltimore is in town, and this is a great game. Only 1 incompletion combined between these two quarterbacks. It is 14-all heading towards halftime. And now Green Bay is in Indianapolis, and Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, having an up-and-down day, has scored 17 points, though. Looks like Phillip Rivers just can't get things moving down the field for the Indianapolis Colts right now. And now Buffalo is in Miami for a divisional matchup, and you see Josh Allen leading his Bills to a two-score advantage necessarily, but two scores on that first half, excuse me. Despite that, Miami leads 17-14. And we are going to be coming back here to the Toronto Huskies game in Toronto, where Detroit leads 20-10, but Toronto's going to get this ball to start the second half with an opportunity to cut that lead down to either 3 or 7 points here. So Ryan Fitzpatrick and company, hopefully they discuss some things. Their offense was rolling for the most part in that game. If it wasn't for that special teams error, right now I think the game could have been tied or even in Toronto's favor. So on first down, they're going to elect to hand this one off, though, to Patrick Laird with only, well, actually tackled in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. That is Deshaun Hand, on the tackle. Nice play there by Hand to get off the block and then grab Laird for no gain. Actually, a loss. So now this is going to be 2nd and 12 now from the 22-yard line. Fitzpatrick should be throwing the ball here, and they are going to fake the handoff, though, and throw it over to the left-hand side, and a contested catch there. That was dangerous. The receiver tried to go up and make the play, was unable to do so, making it 3rd and 12 now. And Fitzpatrick is going to drop back, throw to the right-hand side again. Contested catch this time. The receiver was Delaney Walker, had it in his hands, and that's his 2nd drop pass of the game, although he did get hit while he was in the air, as he wasn't necessarily hit per se, as more like pushed, which is why that's not a penalty for a defenseless receiver. So Matt Hawk back on the field again, this time booming this punt inside the 20, and good coverage here only allowing the return man to get to the 24-yard line. So Matthew Stafford having an alright day today, coming out 14 for 21 for about a 66-67% completion percentage right there. And I'd like to see what Stafford's going to do on this one. Are they going to continue to push the ball downfield? And that seems to be the case here with a first down throw to the 33-yard line to TJ Hawkinson for 9 yards. 2nd and 1 now. Bunch set to the left-hand side, a fake to the running back, and downfield, and another completion here. That is Matthew Stafford going down to, I believe, Jesse James again. And tight ends have been a problem for this Toronto Huskies squad this season. And that is Nick Needham allowing another catch. He has been, beaten up over the last couple of weeks in coverage. And now it's going to be a handoff on first down. A nice move there by Kerryon Johnson getting up to the 37. This is going to be about a 4-yard gain before Joe Harvey Clemens comes up, makes the play. And again, another carry here by Kerryon Johnson, but only gets about a yard, making it 3rd and 4 now at the 36-yard line. Matthew Stafford throws there a little inaccurately to the right-hand side, has a man open. I don't know if he was feeling the pressure or what it was, but he just missed that throw on the right-hand side. Now this is going to be a tough decision here for this Detroit Lions squad, and it looks like they're going to attempt a pretty long field goal here. And it looks like it's going to be no good. Wide left. They had the distance, but not the accuracy. As you see there, just a little bit too far outside. And that's going to allow Ryan Fitzpatrick and company to come back onto the football field in pretty good field position, as they're going to take over at the 43-yard line, putting themselves in the gun formation here. And moving around into the pocket is Fitzpatrick, and he finds a man downfield on the right-hand side. A nice gain of about 21 yards. That is the rookie receiver again, Keontae Bonds, with his 2nd reception of over 20 yards on the day. So now this puts the Toronto Huskies in Detroit Lions territory, closing in on field goal range if they aren't already there. And they are, I believe, in Josh Lambo's range. And a handoff here on first down actually goes backwards for about a 4-yard loss. John Kelly getting tackled by Duron Harmon, the safety, coming up and making a nice play on him. As you see, Josh Bynes trying to hype up his defense. Now coming back to the offense, they're in I formation. 2nd and 14 at the 40-yard line. Another handoff up the middle. This is Patrick Laird, though, going to the 33-yard line. A gain of about 7 yards, making it a much more manageable 3rd and 7. And they're officially in field goal range as well. And a fake to the running back. A nice blitz pickup there on the left-hand side by the running back after the fake. But unfortunately, Fitz already felt the pressure and threw an inaccurate ball to the left-hand side and out of bounds.
Josh Lambo on for the field goal.
So now Josh Lambo is going to come up for a field goal attempt, trying to cut this lead down, and that's exactly what he does, making it 20-13 now for the Toronto Huskies. Putting up an extra 3 points means a lot. So with the Detroit Lions leading 20-13, it's going to head back to their offense And let's see if Matthew Stafford can get a drive going here. And a nice return by the kick return man down to the 31-yard line. So now Matthew Stafford comes back out with his offense, preparing to continue to push the ball down the field. There's about 6.5 minutes left in this third quarter. You have Stafford handing it off to Kerryon Johnson, who has nowhere to go, gets tackled in the backfield. Nice play there by Nick Needham, coming up and making a play in the run defense game. And I have to say, Nick Needham has been, really bad in coverage recently. He's been allowing a lot of big plays down the field, but it's nice to see him playing well in the rush defense category. Now, 2nd and 12 at the 29-yard line. Stafford's going to take the snap and throw a quick ball to the left-hand side, and that's a first down and more down the sideline. What a play there. That is Taylor Gabriel, the speedy slot receiver, making a nice play down to the, I believe that's the 49-yard line. Look at the speed there by Taylor Gabriel to just immediately turn that upfield and just put the Jets on, getting down to the 49. And now they are in plus territory, this Detroit Lions offense. And it looks like there was a little bit of a false start there.
False start, offense.
It's going to help out Toronto, making it 1st and 15 now. Back in Detroit Lion territory. And they're going to throw it here to the left-hand side, and catching it but falling out of bounds is TJ Hawkinson, making it 2nd and 13 now. And they're going to hand this ball off to Kerryon Johnson, who making some moves and gets out to the 45-yard line there. That's going to be 3rd and 6 now. And Detroit is going to throw it on 3rd down. And Stafford is finding a man to the left-hand side, and that's going to be in field goal range. Completed pass, Taylor Gabriel again. A 17-yard reception for Taylor Gabriel, as he had a man closing in, but just not quick enough. I think that was the rookie, Richie Branch. So now in field goal range, Detroit under center is Matthew Stafford. He's going to turn around and fake the handoff to the running back and throw it deep downfield, and that's a touchdown. A touchdown for, I believe, Jesse James. Another tight end reception here. And what a play by Jesse James. That's going to be a... Oh, wow. I think that might have been Richie Branch. Yes, Richie Branch almost clotheslining him, trying to keep him out of the end zone, but as you see there on the pylon cam, clearly crosses the plane. Detroit now, pending the extra point, is going to have a 27-13 lead. And that's going to be a 14-point lead for Detroit, nearing the end of this third quarter with about only 4 minutes left, roughly. Matt Bosher kicking this ball off. And another touchback here for Toronto. Don't need another debacle like earlier with that scoop and score on special teams. Alright, looks like the defense could be blitzing a safety here. And quick throw to the right-hand side to essentially negate that blitz, but unfortunately CeeDee Lamb has nowhere to go with the ball. So now it's 2nd and 10, empty backfield. Fitzpatrick's going to drop back and find actually miss his receiver. Coming out of the backfield, I believe that was Patrick Laird. So now bunch set on 3rd and 10 to the left-hand side. Fitz is going to drop back, find nobody over the middle. Another ball that just goes into the ground. Is that going to be a 3rd and out, or excuse me, a 3 and out? We haven't seen one of those in a while. It was actually nice seeing this Toronto Huskies offense push the football and push it well downfield. And what a play here by the return man to make that guy miss and get a couple of yards out of it. So now Detroit has an opportunity to essentially put this game out of reach here on this drive, taking over at the 27-yard line. As Matthew Stafford is in the gun. And he's going to fake to the running back, throw over to the right-hand side, finds his tight end, TJ Hawkinson, who gets knocked out of bounds for about an 8-yard gain for Detroit. That's going to make it 2nd and 2 now. I'd like to see this Toronto defense be able to come up with another stop like they did earlier in this game. We haven't seen that, though, recently. And on 2nd and 2, they're going to hand the football off and nowhere to go. Nice play there by the rookie Floyd Ellis, tackling the ball carrier in the backfield, making it 3rd and 3. That was Kerryon Johnson, who had nowhere to go on that play. So now on 3rd and 3, they're going to put Stafford in the gun. And he is going to throw it over the middle, finding a wide open receiver in the middle of the field. That is Kenny Golladay.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And now in Toronto Husky territory, down at about the 47-yard line. You know, right now, this Detroit offense is looking pretty good. Not much can go wrong for them right now. Now in I formation, though, it's going to be a pitch to the right-hand side, getting a couple of blockers and making a man miss. That's going to be about 7 yards. Kerryon Johnson on 1st down, nearing field goal range now. 2nd and 3 at the 40, and they're going to fake a throw here on the halfback delayed draw, and Kerryon Johnson goes down hard for about no gain. That's going to be 3rd and 3 again, and it looks like he's injured, though, Kerryon Johnson. He was grabbing his hand / arm. We'll have to see how that affects this squad here, as Detroit on 3rd down and 3, excuse me. Huge gashing play here by the Detroit Lions, and DeAndre Swift finally makes his way into this game, and first carry for 14 yards. He has all the room in the world there on that play. Alright, now Detroit is going to be under center, and another DeAndre Swift run, this time getting 0 yards, getting tackled right at the line of scrimmage by Ifedi Adenabo. And now Stafford throws deep, and what a throw and what a catch! That is a beautiful play. That is Marvin Jones Jr., the veteran, from the veteran quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Nice play there by Marvin Jones. That is going to be him getting behind the veteran safety. That is veteran on veteran crime right there. As he gets behind Rashad Jones. As you see from the pylon cam, nice catch, gets into the end zone, controls the ball the entire way through the catch. As another touchdown for Detroit, who has officially put this game away, barring a miracle. They lead 34-13, 21-point lead for Detroit. And it is not even the fourth quarter yet. So now Matt Bosher, he's going to kick this one off, and another touchback. You can see Terry Godwin wanted to return that one, but thought twice after fumbling one earlier in the game. Now, I formation, Fitzpatrick is going to throw a quick pass over the middle, complete. That is Jesper Horsted for about 7 yards. And that should end this third quarter. The Lions lead 34-13, 21-point lead going into the fourth. Not much more you can ask for if you're Detroit. So Fitz now in the gun is going to move around in the pocket, and he's under pressure and he goes down. That is Romeo Aquara with the sack at the 21-yard line. That's going to be 3rd and 14 now after the sack. And it looks like Fitz just had nowhere to go with the ball downfield. That's going to be more of a coverage sack than anything. As he may have been able to drop it down in the flat to Patrick Laird, but he didn't even look his direction on that play. 3rd and 14 now. Fitzpatrick finds a man over the middle down to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 9 yards to Delaney Walker with his first reception on the day. Unfortunately, not enough for the first down. I'm expecting them to probably punt this ball away. I could see them going for it, though, if they feel like they have no other choice. And that is exactly what they do. They go for it here. 4th and 5. Empty backfield. Quick throw over the middle and a hand in the throwing lane. And that is Tracy Walker, the young safety that I was talking about. He gets a hand on that ball, turning it over on downs. As he almost got it to Delaney Walker there. Would have been for a first down. So now Matthew Stafford comes in having a very nice day. Only 8 incompletions, nearing 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. But they're going to hand it off to, I believe that is Kerryon Johnson, who is back in the game. He got checked out on the sideline and was cleared to go. So now in I formation, they're going to hand it off again to Kerryon Johnson, this time getting stuffed in the backfield. Now it is 3rd and 10 after 2 plays of little to no gain. Can Toronto get a quick 3 and out? As the Detroit Lions are already in field goal range, so it'll be at least a field goal attempt on this drive. So 3rd and 10, and they hand it off again to Kerryon Johnson, only getting about a yard or two. And that's going to set up a field goal here from Detroit. As you see there, the defensive tackles have been doing their job in the rush defense. The question is, will it be enough? I'm thinking no. As another field goal for this Detroit offense puts them up 37-13 now. It's a 24-point lead. Still technically a 3-score game. And a return here from Terry Godwin. Gets out to about the 29-yard line.
Let's go, boys, let's go.
About 8 minutes left in this game, you expect the Toronto Huskies to just keep throwing the football. And believe it or not, that actually is the thing that's been working for them most of the time.
Set the tone, defense, let's go.
And that's exactly what they do here on first down, finding a man and getting a little bit of extra yardage after the catch. That is Trent Sherfield with his 3rd reception. Getting down to the 47-yard line, and Toronto is already moving the football. So now 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. We see Fitzpatrick in the gun once again. And he is going to move around under pressure and get sacked on first down to the 38-yard line. That is going to be a 9-yard loss on that sack. That's the 4th sack of the day for this Detroit front 7. Heck of a day from the Detroit defense right now. As it looks like Fitzpatrick had a man coming open on a corner route there, but was unable to get the ball off. So now on 2nd and 19, Fitzpatrick's going to just dump this off to the right-hand side for only a short gain of about 3 yards.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So now 3rd and 16 for this Toronto offense, and they're going to do a quick throw here, and what a play! What a play on a batted ball. CeeDee Lamb catches it for a first down. That is Daryl Worley, I believe, who got hands on that. And eventually, though, CeeDee Lamb, off the deflection, finds the ball. What awareness, and just slides down for the reception. Over 100 yards now is CeeDee Lamb. Now at the 40-yard line, Toronto is going to elect to hand this one off, and making players miss on spin moves here is Patrick Laird down to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 5 now. Empty backfield. And a quick throw over the middle to Patrick Laird. That's going to be about a 4-yard reception. Should bring up a 3rd and 1. With about 5 minutes to go, they're going to put Patrick Laird out of the backfield here. And a quick throw over the middle, incomplete, excuse me. A forced incompletion there. I believe that might have been CeeDee Lamb who dropped that ball. And it looked like Lamb actually had the ball in his hands and then just couldn't complete the catch. Makes it 4th and 1 from the 31-yard line. And Toronto, quick pass here, complete over to the right-hand side. That's going to be a 10-yard gain from Delaney Walker and another first down. With 4.5 left in this game, and they're going to elect to hand this one off, trying to make some moves here. That is John Kelly for a gain of about 4 yards or so. Now 4 minutes left in this ball game. Toronto on a high snap, another handoff, this time a little bit of room here, and that is Patrick Laird inside the 10-yard line, and gets brought down by his face mask. That should be about a half the distance to the goal.
Automatic first down.
And a first down at the 4-yard line now, 1st and goal.
51, 20, 51, come off the ball.
So Fitzpatrick, empty backfield here. He's going to look to throw this ball, and under pressure with nowhere to go with it, gets sacked again. The 2nd sack of the day for Deshaun Hand. Now it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 11-yard line. As you see, Fitzpatrick moving in the pocket, trying to get someone to break free, but is unable to do so. So now 2nd and goal in I formation. And it's going to be another sack here and a fumble, actually, that gets picked up by an offensive lineman. So that's going to be a 3rd sack now for Deshaun Hand, and 6th sack on the day for the Detroit defense. As you see, lucky that the offensive lineman was there to pick that ball up. So that's going to set up a 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line. As Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to just throw a short pass anyways, but it's incomplete. Intended for Patrick Laird. It's now 4th and goal. We'll have to see whether they go for it here. 4th and goal from the 22. Or they elect to, looks like they're going to elect to just kick a field goal and make the score look a little more respectable. As it is now 37-16 for Toronto. A 21-point lead for the Detroit Lions. And it should be an onside kick here from Josh Lambo. And that's exactly what it is. And unfortunately for them, it looks like it's going to be scooped up by Taylor Gabriel on the hands team. So now Stafford coming back out. We'll have to see if they pass the ball at all, to see if he gets that extra 13 yards to get to 300. So now Stafford hands the ball up the middle. It's time for Kerryon Johnson. Getting a pretty good gain. Nice hold from this Detroit Lions offensive line. Now it's going to be 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard pickup. And this is going to take us actually to the 2-minute warning. And looking back, I have to say the Toronto Huskies, they started off this game nice, very hot. You know, they brought some momentum from the previous couple of games where they had some offensive momentum. And this time that is going to be a short gain for Kerryon Johnson, almost no gain. Floyd Ellis on the tackle. Now 3rd and 3. Another handoff, and this one's going to go for a 1st down. Or no, they actually marked him short. Interesting. 4th and inches now. Now Detroit could, in theory, go for this and end the game. And the game is already ended in a sense. Or they could just kick a field goal here and give the Toronto Husky fans another opportunity to see their offense. And that is the route that they go here. Electing to kick the field goal. A 53-yard attempt. And it is well short. So Toronto, with good field position at the 43-yard line, has another opportunity to make the score look a little bit more reasonable. All right, it looks like the offense is going to be coming back out here. As you see, CeeDee Lamb having a nice day. Over 100 yards, 6 receptions, found the end zone. And I really thought that this was going to end differently. You know, Toronto had a nice first half, kept the game close, and then everything just blew up in the second half. As Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to find a man out of the backfield for a 1st down yardage there. That is going to be Patrick Laird up to the 42-yard line. 1st time out for Toronto. And Fitzpatrick is going to throw again over the middle, this time incomplete. Now Fitz drops back again, throws this time over the left-hand side, and another first down and another timeout for Toronto with 1 timeout remaining, 17 seconds. That was a CeeDee Lamb catch, the 7th on the day, and they actually like to run this ball. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. I mean, they are in field goal range, but they used their last timeout with only 12 seconds left to go. And Fitz is going to complete this one over the middle, and that's going to be the end of the game. Delaney Walker with a reception, getting down to about the 12 or 13 yard line. All right, the Detroit Lions end up taking this game 37-16 over the Toronto Huskies, who actually had a pretty good offensive output today. They had over 230 passing yards, over 50 yards on the ground. They just couldn't seem to put it together. And you can see the frustration from Ryan Fitzpatrick after that one. You know, he actually had a pretty good outing, to be honest. Closing in on 300 yards passing, again, Ryan Fitzpatrick, so not a bad day. CeeDee Lamb had a nice day. Keontae Bonds had some nice plays. It was nice to see some of these players, you know, putting it together here towards the end of the season. That's what we're looking for as we finish out this season. But that should end up being the final here. Obviously the final, but also the end of this episode. As we come out of this game, we can look forward to the final 4 weeks of the season for this Toronto Husky squad, including a couple of division matchups against the Texans next week, as we had a pretty intense matchup there previously in week, I believe, 10 against the Houston Texans, who started off as a pretty close matchup, and then, just like this one, ended up escaping the Huskies in the second half. We've seen that seem to be the trend for the Huskies. They can keep it close through halftime, but then the second half, it's like they just lose all momentum. And now, after that, we also have the Oakland Raiders in Week 15, and then the Green Bay Packers in Week 16, and then to wrap it up against the Titans, who we beat in Week number 2, again in Week 17. So we will have a scouting update as well for you during the off season, and hopefully we'll be able to wrap this up in the coming week or two, depending on with the upcoming holiday of Halloween. Obviously, I'll be a little bit more busy. However, we should be able to wrap this up, you know, somewhere before Halloween or close to it. But in the meantime, my name is TayVikes28. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to tune in for the next couple of episodes, especially next week against the Houston Texans. But in the meantime, once again, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.